but I guarantee you that if a warlock in my game takes this kind of thing, the world is going to be filled with things that look like they're human or normal demi-humans and are clearly not. And it's going to be, oh crap, that guy's a demon, that guy's an angel, that guy's a freaking dragon. Oh my God, what do I do here?
That's a vampire, yeah. Werewolf.
I'm Nerdarchy Ted.
I'm Nerdarchy Dave.
Welcome to Nerdarchy. For nerds, by nerds. All right, we're looking at some more Warlock stuff today, and that's going to be more Invocations. What direction are we looking at today?
All right, so we're going to be doing the exploration pillar for Invocations for Warlock. We already did the combat pillar, and people seemed really intrigued with the idea of us doing the other pillars as well. And, you know, it is one of the coolest and best ways to customize your Warlock. I find that I tend to rag on the Warlocks a bit, but the area that I really do like the Warlocks is Invocations, where that is where you get the most customization, and I feel like the most customization, and can make a real difference between the different types of Warlock.
Now, I guess we should kind of redefine the exploration pillar, because I know not every table kind of views it the same way. So this way, if we kind of let everybody know how we're perceiving it, so that we justify the decisions that we're making.
Okay, so for me, exploration is ways that you perceive and learn about the world, as well as move around the world.
So I look at it as pretty much, if you're not actively, engaging in combat or not actively engaging in conversation, everything else is pretty much exploration. And there is times that even in conversation, you're getting more into the exploration pillar. When an NPC just begins narrating stuff to you, it's not a back and forth conversation. You've actually shifted into the exploration pillar.
Yeah, when they're giving you in-depth details of Court Ryan or King Ryan's court, and all of the ancestry, that is kind of exploration. But all the pillars kind of have that kind of crossover as well.
Right. So there's going to be 54 Warlock invocations that we found over on D&D Beyond, and we kind of, went through line by line, and 12 of them we really felt fall into, primarily the exploration pillar.
Yeah, so we're going to go over them, but before we do, a quick reminder that our Mageforge product, which is a way to introduce more magic items into your game, 250 new magic items on tarot-sized cards, all brand new, color-coded, and from our games, live plays, streams, products, you name it. If Nerdarchy's done it and created a magic item for it, we probably put it into the Mageforge, and we're cranking them out. We're still taking pre-orders. We'll put a link down in the description and one of these cards up here so you can check it out.
All right, so without further ado, let's dive into what we feel are the top 5 exploration pillar Warlock invocations. And the first one is actually one of my favorite. It's super sweet. It's really small. Eyes of the Runekeeper. You can read all writing. Boom. Done. If it's written, if it's any kind of language whatsoever, it's runic, it's ancient, your Warlock, powers say, yup, I can tell you exactly what that says.
And that definitely opens up some things for you in your game. Now, it doesn't mean you're going to actually understand what you read, but you can read it. So if it's written in a language you don't understand, but you can now read it, but it's a cipher, you would still have to crack the cipher. But it might be just another interesting way to, challenge that particular player and that character, and, allow them to use an ability they wouldn't be able to. And, you don't have to cast cap around languages now.
I feel that it's one of the easiest ways to actually put more information out into the game. Oh, you find a rare book, you find this thing. And perhaps through these early levels, you can take Eyes of the Runekeeper right away because it doesn't have a level limitation. But, perhaps this character is uncovering lost lore all over the place, and nobody can read this. But if you take this invocation, boom, you could be the only one in the world that understands exactly what's being said here.
Yeah, honestly, you may have gotten your Warlock pack because you read something you shouldn't have read, and now you have a Warlock patron impact to go with it, and now you can read all the things you shouldn't read. So, next up for number 2 is Gift of the Depths, and that has a prereq of 5th level. You can breathe underwater, and you gain a swimming speed equal to your walking speed. You can also cast water breathing once without expending a spell slot. You gain the ability to do so when you finish a long rest. So, the reason why I thought this is a really great exploration invocation, because not only does it affect you, it can affect your whole entire party. You can cast water breathing once per day, but it lasts a full day, 24 hours, up to 10 creatures. You don't need it. So really 11 of you can interact without any problems whatsoever. So I feel like this is going to open up a whole nother dimension for your characters. And also, if you're playing like a seafaring adventure, this is a great pack, a great invocation to take.
Yeah, or even just as a side jaunt, because I mean, technically, you've got the ability to trade out your invocations when you gain levels. So, like, okay, guys, we're going to be doing this thing. We just leveled up. I'm going to take this one here. And then, once this part of the adventure is done, I'll trade that off for something else. So,
yeah.
That's an aspect that, we really don't talk about much with the invocations. So, like...
It's like Bruno.
Yeah, you really can, switch things up so that whatever is needed at the time, you just might be able to have it. So I've got one that is another sight-based power, and that's going to be Devil's Sight. You can see normally in darkness, both magical and non-magical, to a distance of 120 feet. So the really great aspect of this is it says you can see. It doesn't say you have perfect dark vision out to these things. So you could be standing in magical darkness, and everything within 120 feet is there in pure, beautiful color. You can take it all in. That means...
But is it in techno color?
I don't think it's in Technicolor, but that's an aspect that I think gets overlooked by a lot of things. Like, you walk underground and everybody else is like, oh man, we don't have a whole lot of light, so therefore, you got to rely on your dark vision. You're like, no, it's a green thing right there. I don't see anything green. Of course you don't. You've got dark vision. Yeah. I've got Devil's Sight. So, like, I think that's an aspect that you could really play up and have a lot of fun with. But it's going to allow you to observe things that nobody else has the ability to do. Whether you're in normal darkness or magical darkness, boom, you can see it.
Yeah, that's one of the reasons why I definitely thought Devil's Sight is a great choice, is the fact that you can see in color and not just black and white. So that's going to completely change it. We've done videos about dark vision in the past, and it also seems like everyone always has dark vision in the party, so most of the time no one's using a light source. So things that you might miss because they're color-coded, now that Warlock can see it, and obviously everyone knows the trick: cast darkness on yourself and fight. Right. But this is a way to use it outside of combat that's super useful. It's always on, perfect. So next up, we have Visions of Distant Realms. This one's tough because you can't take it until 5th level. You can cast Arcane Eye at will without expending a spell slot. So Arcane Eye, you send it forth. It can see in the dark. It has dark vision, and you can just send it all over the place and have it scout and see the environment, see what's up ahead. It's exploring. You're exploring without having to go there.
Yeah, and that offers quite a lot of safety. Yeah, if it doesn't stealth well and whatnot, somebody might be aware that there's somebody else out there, but you're not in harm's way until you put yourself there. So that adds a whole nother dimension of being able to, kind of see and explore the world without actually going anywhere, as Dave says. All right, so another one that happens to have that, 15th level prerequisite is going to be Witch Sight. You can see the true form of any shape changer or creature concealed by illusion or transmutation magic while the creature is within 30 feet of you and within line of sight. I absolutely love this one because it's so high level. I almost forget about it when I, look at Warlock stuff. But I guarantee you that if a Warlock in my game takes this kind of thing, the world is going to be filled with things that look like they're human or normal demi-humans and are clearly not. And it's going to be, oh crap, that guy's a demon, that guy's an angel, that guy's a freaking dragon. Oh my God, what do I do here?
That's a vampire, yeah, werewolf. That is super cool. And really, I wasn't sold on this one until you started talking about that. And I was like, oh yes, that is so cool. You can add a whole new layer to the world, or specific locations of the world where the players get to see something that other players can't see unless they're casting True Sight or something.
Right. And this is an aspect that, like, how fantastic would it be? Like, you've been engaging with this NPC for all 15 levels up to this point in time. You take this, and all of a sudden now you're like, holy crap. What did we tell, Josen? What was this? What was that? Like, why do you ask? Because he ain't human. He ain't human. He ain't human. So, like, even if you hadn't thought about it previously. Like, you can have this modification late game, and have some fun with a lot of things, and then go back and change. All right, well, what was this? What was that? Maybe the line that you said might have been really important to them, and you're trying to remember the exact wording. But you as the DM, if you didn't take notes on it, it might not matter so much until they say, well, I think this is what we said. All right, that it is what it says. Or, maybe you write it down of like, well, no, I think you guys said this. And you could have a lot of fun with, working with these things that are in disguise to some degree or another. And like, that's what those high level games, can be about. That's how you can change the whole world by like, nope, these things aren't really human. They're something else. Yeah, they resemble a merchant, but they're looking to have some fun as an immortal who, so I spend 30 years as, Gerald the Merchant. So the immortal wants to spend 30 years as Gerald the Merchant, and learn some interesting stories and possibly get one over on, stupid humans just to see what that experience was like. Sometimes immortality can be boring, so why not?
I love the idea of like the merchant they've been dealing with for years now. It's like all of a sudden you get this in, oh, he's a beholder. and then like in private something happens where he now realizes and he's like, oh, good, I can finally shed this hideous human form when I'm around you guys and just be myself. And turns into the beholder. Or you're in the woods and you're surrounded by animals and it turns out they're all wild-shaped druids.
I hadn't thought about that aspect, but that would be, pretty hilarious. But so there's so many different directions to kind of take that and explore and expand the world in ways you might not have thought, just because a player decides, you know what, I'm taking that ability.
So let us know how you've used Warlock Invocations to explore your worlds and your D&D games in the comments below, and share your thoughts and ideas with the Nerdarchy community.
While you're down there, don't forget to do all those fun things in that middle section, like, share, subscribe, help out Nerdarchy and YouTube, ring that notification bell so you don't miss a single video.
Quick reminder, Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays we drop new videos here on the channel, so come on back. But you can't wait till then, no worries, we've got you covered. Check out D&D Warlock Invocations, the 5 best for combat.
So until next time,
stay nerdy.